When I was 205, I really never knew anything about calories. I always thought that I could always eat for pleasure rather than nutrients when I realized what I needed to do to weight loss. I've always been the person who usually buys the cardboard box pizzas on Aldi, buy the fast food, always getting the double or triple servings. And yet, every day I go to sleep, I always gain that weight. No, it's not from the high calorie amounts of food that I'm eating. It's more likely the ingredients. Not only did I actually change my whole lifestyle and actually change the ingredients that I was eating, I was able to lose 65 pounds of fat in less than 6 months because I stopped counting calories and actually worked on this instead, which was actually controlling insulin. You may not know what insulin is. It's one of your hormones that actually activates fat gain. You eat these foods like pizza, cookies, chips, anything that's filled with carb-based meals that are simple carbs essentially. When you're eating these types of meals, you are actually spiking insulin. And when insulin is spiked at an extreme amount, you are just gonna save it for a rainy day, aka literally just fat. So why are you trying to eat these certain foods that are making you fat? It's the burgers that you eat at fast food. It's the cookies that you want to get that are very cheap. It's the pizza that's very cheap as hell. But in reality, that you're sacrificing your future self to gain more weight rather than actually figuring out what foods are actually nutritional for your body instead of pleasurable. Realizing that there's a lot of companies out there that don't really care about you being fat. As long as you're paying them money, that's all they really need. The perfect example for you to know that your insulin is being spiked is go grab some oats, go grab some rice, go grab some pizza, honestly, especially Domino's pizza. Every time you take a bite, you start to realize that your stomach starts to get bigger, bloated. That being said, that is actually an allergic reaction to your gut microbiome telling you that they can't consume this meal. Why am I so against counting calories? It's really because essentially counting calories give you an eating disorder. You start to view food as bad or good. You start to view food as high calorie or low calorie. You start to view food as numbers, essentially. And that's not a really good way to essentially live life, correct? You're looking through the store, you're looking through the menus when you go hang out with your friends, and you're always looking at the calorie intake, the calorie intake, the calorie intake. Understanding that you are not controlled by calories, you are controlled by your hormones. You realizing that 1,000 calories, the 500 calories, it's just how much that food needs to be digested by, not by how many calories you will be gaining. You are not gonna gain weight from a small protein bar that's worth 500 calories. Trust me, I've ate a shit ton of protein bars when during my very, very beginning early stage of weight loss, then I still lost weight. I'm not advising you to start eating like this because I realized that I still feel really sore the next day due to because of the fake protein that's in them, as well as my energy levels were always dipped down below because I'm always not fueling my body correctly whenever I was working out. I usually had to use willpower and discipline for me to actually continue my workouts. Oh, this also brings to the conclusion of why does every counting calorie app cost money? Again, it's for profit. Every single time that you're starting to see some food, you have to pull out your phone and account and scan an app. For you to eat food? You serious? At this point, I realized that you are really not controlled by calories. You don't have a balance of 2,000 calories a day where you could only spend that much. You are essentially just starving yourself. That is really it. To ultimately get the physique that you want and lose the weight, you need to have an active lifestyle. You need to believe yourself that you're an athlete. If you want to shut off those 5 pounds, if you want to shut off those 10 pounds, 20 pounds, this is where I tell you to start eating more foods with high fat, with more protein as well. Because these foods right here are going to actually activate the other hormone called leptin. Leptin is going to be the hormone that's going to help you to actually feel full and stationary and makes you feel like you don't need to eat more. When insulin is high, not only you gain fat, but yet you'll feel hungry after 20, 30 minutes after. And yet you're going to continue the cycle of gaining fat and fat and fat and fat. Realizing that you're not making any progress and only being depressed because the scale went up the next day. So eat foods with high amounts of fat. That is full fat Greek yogurt, avocado, nuts, cook things with butter. Eat dairy products like cheese, peanut butter bars that are actually just peanut butter bars. These foods right here are going to actually be able to accumulate you not to feel hungry throughout the day. That's a good thing because you don't need to be eating constantly every single day every time you eat those certain foods that you've already spiked insulin in. You need to be getting a lot of animal protein. This is why I strongly emphasizing into eating more. I honestly recommend overeating this because I think that meat is essentially 0 calories. Not only that your body uses the whole amount of protein for your body to function the next day, because everything in your body is made out of protein, to the hair, to your toes, literally. So that being said, you need enough protein for your body to use it all and, add more benefit to your body. You see right here with this little pimple that I got, that's because of the excess amount of sugar. Because I was drinking a protein shake, realizing that I didn't know there was a shit ton of sugar. Now I have to deal with this pimple throughout the whole day and throughout the whole 2 weeks because it popped. That's why I strongly emphasizing if you eat foods with a high amount of protein and high amounts of fat, your skin will start glowing, you'll start losing weight, you'll feel more energized, your mind will be sharper. Once you get on this diet, I guarantee you'll lose weight effectively. But that is it though. Put down that fork and go lift some weights, brother. And I'll see you soon. On a quick note though, if you want to lose weight more effectively, I actually have a workout program in the description below where you are able to streamline your weight loss journey and not deal with the bullshit false information out there in the world. Of course, I will be making these videos and help you provide you to lose fat effectively. As well as click on this video right here if you want to continue learning more, and see you soon.